Hello, and welcome. It's Trucking Answers. It's the Sunday Rant. And we're here to talk about our friends again at the American Trucking Association. Well, they're out there and they have their hand out, of course, waiting for free gifts from the government, which I love, considering how much the CEO makes. Millions. Now, they are griping about truck parking, and while it's a problem, it's solvable by drivers. The American Trucking Association is saying 70+%, something like that, of drivers have to violate their log every day or very regularly to find safe, I forget how they put it, somehow safe and legal parking, something to that effect, right? That drivers can't find parking every day, they have to violate their log. Okay, are you violating your log to find parking, number one? If you are, stop it. All right, and to Chris Spear, the CEO of the American Trucking Association, it is not the government's job to find parking for private businesses. A private business, such as maybe a company that is a member of the American Trucking Association, needs to find parking for their drivers. If they don't do that, then their trucks get towed away. Listen, and you're saying, well, Mark, that can't happen. Absolutely. Look, this is the only way to make things happen, is you have to make your problem their problem. When you run out of hours, you go, hey, I'm out of hours. And you should tell them, hey, I only have 20 minutes. I have 15 minutes. I'm looking for a spot. I can't find anything. Do this in writing. I'm not going to be able to find a spot. And when I'm out of hours, I'm not moving this truck. Okay, unless you tell me in writing to continue driving past my hours. That's what you should be doing. And that's how you solve parking. Each company should be providing parking. Whoa, that costs. Yeah, it costs. That's right. It costs. Too bad. A number of years ago, I was coming back and I was running late because my load had been delayed or whatever. And I told him, I go, I'm not going to make it back. Oh, yeah, just try it. I go, okay, fine. I go, I'm not going to. And then my time's running out. I'm getting off the exit, right, to there, and it's out of hours. I pull over. I'm like, that's it. Oh, well, you're just, 3 minutes or whatever. Come on over. I go, no, I'm not coming. Okay, and I'm going to sit here where I get paid until you come and get me. You need to get somebody over here to drive this truck the last few minutes because you can't get your head out of your butt. I told you I wouldn't make it, and I'm not driving over my hours, period. Unless you write it out right now, tell me, Mark, I know you're over hours, but you have to continue driving. We demand that you continue driving or you'll be fired. I said, I want to see that in writing. Nothing. Guess what? It took them a couple of hours to get somebody in, then bring them over to me to drive the truck back. And that person got a minimum pay. They probably got, I don't know, $100, $150 to come and do that, to drive the truck, a few minutes. And plus they paid me all that time to sit there. Plus I'm on the clock waiting because you're waiting with the load. So that's log time. So I can't start till later the next day. Made the load later. It cost them a lot of money. Now, not a lot in relation to, companies make all kinds of money. But if everybody would do that, okay, companies would figure it out. They don't figure it out because you're willing to run illegal. You're willing to do it. If Chris Spear's right, and he might be right, that 70+ or 70% of drivers every day or very regularly have to run over their hours to find parking. Okay, let's say he's right. Why? Why are you doing that? I have always said, right, never run over your hours. Once you make the company abide by those hours, that's when they'll figure it out. The problem is the hours don't matter because you'll do it, and then if you get a ticket, what's the company going to say? Hey, you shouldn't be running over your hours. You get in an accident, and the cops are like, what are you doing? Oh, I had to park. No. Do not run over your hours even 1 minute. Do not do it. When you're just driving around and you're like, oh, my hours are up, but I got to keep driving because there's no parking. No. You should have already just stopped and say, look, I can't drive this truck anymore. I'm out of hours, so figure it out. Because you want to tell them all along the way, I have an hour, I have 30 minutes, I have 15 minutes in writing, right? And I'm going to run out of hours. And when I'm out, I'm not driving. Be specific about it. Tell them and say, hey, I'm not driving over my hours. And of course, every company, especially ATA companies, will agree, don't drive over your hours. So don't drive over your hours. That's the solution. Not where Chris Spear goes hand in hand to the government and begs for money, even though he gets millions of dollars a year's pay. I forget what his pay was, million or a lot of money, right? And all these companies, they have money for that. They have money for lawsuits. They could spend millions of dollars to fight a minimum wage suit, but can they spend $25 to have you park at a private lot like the ones here in town and stuff like that? No, but they'll fight to make sure you don't get minimum wage, right? They got money for lawyers. Make them fix it. Do not run over hours. All I'm telling, and I get a lot of grief about this. Mark, what, you're so militant. No, I'm telling people, hey, run legal. And people are like, holy crap, Mark, that's crazy talk. No, it's 100% talk. And you tell them, I've run legal. At the end of my time, I'm done. And you figure out what to do with your truck. Remember, you're an employee, okay? And they've sent you somewhere. They need to figure out what to do. If they send you to a motel, they figure you have parking there, right? If you went somewhere, they'd pay to park, whatever it is. They pay. It's their truck. Make it their problem. It is not the government's duty. I said duty. It's not the government's duty to provide parking to private businesses. It is the private's business to figure it out. Don't run over hours. Simple talk on the Sunday Rant. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon, hopefully in finding a car in the next Trucking Answers.